a very big match coming up at Stamford Bridge this weekend. And it's live on talkSPORT. It is a hugely significant football match. It is the Game for Ukraine, which takes place at Stamford Bridge, as I say, home of Chelsea Football Club. And you can listen to all the action right here on talkSPORT from 5:30. The man to my right, Alex Crook, will be there and he will be commentating on the day. A whole host of big names are going to be playing in this match. Arsene Wenger will be there to manage one of the teams. Andriy Shevchenko will be there. Alexander Zinchenko will be there. Other huge names like Seedorf, McElhenney, Cannavaro, Gerard Piqué, Gianfranco Zola, back at Stamford Bridge. Massive names all doing their bit, and many individuals from the world of entertainment giving up their time for this Game for Ukraine. One of them is comedian and a player in the game, Russell Howard. We're going to speak to Russell in just a second. But ahead of this, Arsenal's and Ukraine's Zinchenko explained the impact that the war has had on his country, on young children in his country.
It was so sad, to be honest, you know, not just seeing that damage from terrorist bomb. It was so sad, you know, talking to the kids and when they are saying to you all the stories which they had in the past since invasion, where Russian army went to their houses and they were doing scary things. Because listening to the kids is completely different when you read something from the newspapers. This is the real stories where kids cannot lie. Unfortunately, for all the kids in Ukraine, this is a big mental injury for the rest of their lives. We have to keep going. We have to carry on, and we need to be just stronger than that. And with your guys' support and help from everyone around the world, especially UK, we will do it. We will win this terrorist invasion.
Zinchenko talking about the dreadful scenes that are going on in his country. Game for Ukraine takes place Saturday at Stamford Bridge. Alex, you're working on it. I'll get to you in a second. Obviously, want to hear your thoughts on this. I mentioned that comedian and also a player in the game, Russell Howard, is going to be joining us. Russell is with us. Russell, good morning. How significant is this? What persuaded you, presumably, to right away say, yeah, count me in?
Oh, well, I think, you know, the eloquence that Zinchenko just showed sums it up perfectly. You just forget that there are children in the middle of this kind of war, and the whole point of this game is to rebuild a school so they can be kids again. So it's an absolute honour and a privilege to play alongside people like Zola and Essien and Joe Cole and Hasselbank. And it's a bit like when you do kind of comedy gigs for a charity, the audience just gets to have a laugh and we accidentally raise a load of money for a good cause. It's a similar thing watching a football game. You'll see all these legends probably not make me and make me look like a moron, and it will be joyous, and you accidentally raise a load of money for a great cause, you know?
Russell, you may not be aware of this, but actually there's a new name been added to the Legends lineup as well. Miroslav Klose, no less, of course, record World Cup goal scorer. Are you any good at football? Can I ask you? Coming up against that calibre of opponent?
Well, obviously not against that calibre. No, in the world of comedy, I'm all right, but in the world of
Yeah.
World Cup winning footballers, not great. So yeah, it's kind of it's just a joy to be there, really, and kind of anything we can do to raise money for an important charity is kind of, that's the whole point, really. And I think that, you know, what the crowd want is that you want someone like me to miss a sitter and just, you know, take the mickey out of it. I think that's the whole point of it, really. And just to see these, I've played in a few of these games, and it's like they're a different breed. I remember training with Teddy Sheringham at Soccer Aid a couple of years ago. It was just like, he was making me moan. Like his first touch, you just like go, oh, just like, and you just see Joe Cole, and you see these. I was telling my wife about all the players that are playing. I was like, it's Zola and it's Essien and Zinchenko. And it was like an 8-year-old girl trying to explain K-pop to me. It doesn't mean anything unless you know it.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean anything. But
yeah. We heard Zinchenko and Russell. You were right away to say how eloquently he spoke about what's going on in his country. And he's so right. I mean, there's hardly a day goes by that I don't watch a news bulletin and I become more and more dismayed. And you think, well, What more can we do? What more can people like ourselves do? Here you are doing something about it. Here are former great players from the game doing something about it, recognising this dreadful scene that seems to be going on and on with seemingly no end to it. But you're doing something about it, Russell, at least.
Well, whenever an opportunity like this comes along, whether it's like a charity comedy night or a charity football game, whatever it may be, like if you're lucky enough to be able to do what I do, or if you're lucky enough to have been a professional footballer, I think when stuff like this comes along, you just recognise it's kind of your duty to just take a day off, do a gig, play a bit of football. That's the point of it, really,
Yes, exactly. How do you feel in moments like this, Russell, when you're sitting in the company of these great names and you're about to play this star-studded match, and you're in a dressing room and you're looking at Patrick Vieira getting ready, or Robert Pires getting ready, or Samuel Eto'o warming up? Do you pinch yourself?
I think you just keep quiet. That's the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just try and, when you were like a kid and you tried to stay up as late as you could, and you sort of like sunk into the sofa so your mum wouldn't recognise you, and you'd get an extra half an hour before you had to go to bed. Something like that, really. Just keep quiet, try and get 10 minutes, 20 minutes on the pitch, and soak it up. I remember playing in Soccer Aid, and Robbie Keane was kind of going around. You spend like 3 or 4 days training before you do it. And Robbie was like, just going, have a drink after training, have a drink. I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to drink. I'm going to try and, stay off the booze. Yes. And he was like, he goes, do you think you'll do well? And I said, yeah, I think I'll do okay. And he went, well, you won't. Like, they're professional footballers. You haven't got a hope. Just have a drink. And it turns out he was doing this to everybody. So he was quietly going around trying to get everyone on the lash, so that his team would have a better opportunity. Yeah,
brilliant. They don't lose their winning edge. The halftime entertainment looks pretty decent as well. Got to be said. Alicia Dixon. There's a DJ set from Melanie C, The Pretenders, Tom Grennan, as well as Ukrainian artists. So that's going to be a spectacular event as well. And I'm told there are still a handful of family tickets available. So do go to the website Game4Ukraine.com if you would like to attend. Who are you most looking forward to coming up against? You're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
I am a Liverpool fan, so I think Reece is playing. But I think Pires is the one for me. Just such a beautiful footballer. Pires and Zola, those are the two really that you just to have a kick about. And I imagine for the Chelsea fans, I mean, the atmosphere every time Zola gets the ball at Stamford Bridge is going to just be something else. So yeah, I'll just be sitting at the just admiring them. Honestly, it's like I played the first day of Soccer Aid. I was getting marked by Mark Noble. I didn't get a touch, but it was one of the best days. Just playing football with legends. It's just incredible. And like you say, this is set against the backdrop of raising money for an important cause, and you're kind of in the middle of it, having fun. It's a ridiculously privileged position.
Make sure you stay on your feet against Pires, because he does like to go over easily.
Yeah, I think I'll be looking at the back of his shirt a lot, I think.
Russell, good luck, and well done for involving yourself in it. Terrific stuff.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much. That was Russell Howard, who's going to be playing in this game for Ukraine at Stamford Bridge at the weekend. It's a very, very significant occasion, and I would like to think, Alex, at Stamford Bridge will be full to bursting for that match. You're going to be commentating on it. It's live on talkSPORT. It takes place Saturday at Stamford Bridge. You can hear the game live, as I say, on talkSPORT. For your chance to be there, to get tickets for the game, head to Game4Ukraine.com. And it's designed to raise funds to rebuild schools in Ukraine, to allow children, for all children to continue to have access to education there. So it is so important. So that's where you want to go to. Head to Game4Ukraine.com.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.